soared across the plains. I traded cornfields for the coastal rains, with a suitcase full of ethics, crisp and dry, and a nervous habit of looking at the sky. The city rises like a jagged crown, while I'm just a stranger in a rental town, between the moral lines I used to know and the frantic rhythm where the spirits flow. Step across the threshold, leave the dirt behind. New York is a fever for a restless mind. I'm within and without, a watcher on the wall, waiting for the summer or the sky to fall. The West Egg dust is settling on my shoes, in the syncopated heartbeat of the New York blues. The air is thick with secrets and the smell of gin, a million ways for a soul to begin again. I've got a list of names and a plot of land, but I'm holding my breath like a grain of sand. The neighbors are shadows in the moonlight glow, with a history they're desperate not to show.
The lawn runs down to the bay in a velvet spill, to a house where the clocks have all stood still. The French windows yawn in the heat of the noon, while the curtains dance to a hollow tune. Daisy and Jordan like white idols at rest in a world that's never been put to the test. It's the smell of old money, polished and cool, where the winner is born and the loser's a fool, wrapped in white dresses and a silver lie underneath the gold of an East Egg sky. A stagnant beauty, a shimmering cage, the polished poison of a golden age. Tom moves like a ghost with a heavy hand, a master of a bored and a brutal land. His voice is a whip and his eyes are glass, watching the years and the peasants pass. There's a rot in the roses, a chill in the wine, in a kingdom built on a bloodline.
Cars roar through the wrought iron gates to a circus of gin and a carnival of fates. The orchestra's playing in a jagged key for the moths who've escaped from the bourgeoisie. Champagne fountains and the clinking of glass, watching the ghosts of the century pass in the blue gardens where the stars come down to drown in the lights of a neon town. It's a Bacchanalia, a fever roar. Leave your name and your shame at the door. The laughter is easy, the rhythm is fast, in a world that's designed not to ever last. Spinning on the edge of a diamond blade in the beautiful mess that the money made. Trays of spice, while the girls in the sequins are rolling the dice. There's a whisper of scandal in every breath, a dance on the grave of a quiet death. The air is a riot, the pulses are high, as the fireworks scream through a velvet the spectacle, look at the gleam, the frantic pursuit of a hollow dream. Nobody's invited, but everyone's here, drinking the nectar and killing the fear.
The party is a hum in the distance now, a crown of thorns on a lonely brow. The host is a shadow on the marble stair, a man who belongs to the empty air. He doesn't drink and he doesn't dance. He's just the architect of the second chance. He is the spectacle and he is the ghost, a silent king for a phantom host, reaching his hand to the edge of the night for the pulse of a distant flickering light. Green as the envy, green as the spring, the one obsession that the gold can't bring. Standing alone on the edge of the dock, counting the ticks of a rusted clock. The water is dark and the distance is vast between the future and the ghost of the past. The green light blinks like a dying star, so close to his fingers, but forever too far. The humid air of Kentucky hung thick as a shroud. A lieutenant's brass buttons, a face in the crowd. I walked up the porch where the white light was spilling. A penniless soldier, but God, I was willing to trade in the dirt of the life I had known for a seat on the throne that your laughter had shown. Oh, the golden girl in the white roadster car. You were the icon, my north-pointing star. I took you like a holy grail, a cup I couldn't hold, wrapped in a uniform, hiding the cold. Before the Atlantic, before the divide, you were the only thing I kept inside. 5 years is a desert, 5 years is a sea, but I built an empire to bring you to me. I made myself over in shadows and light, just to find where you slept on that summer sweet night.
The rain is a curtain, silver and gray, tearing the edges of this April day. I'm pacing the floorboards of Nick's little room, a man of my stature, consumed by the gloom. I should have gone home, I should have retreated, before the 5 years were finally defeated. And the clock on the mantle is tilting to fall. I caught it in time, backed against the wall. But time is a phantom we can't really touch. I've wanted this moment, perhaps far too much. The ticking has ceased, but the heart skips a beat, while the water runs cold on the West Egg Street. You walk through the door, and the tea turned to ice. I've paid for this meeting, 1,000-fold price. You're damp and you're trembling, a ghost in the light. The silence is heavy, the collar is tight, but the sun breaks the clouds with a sudden sharp glare, reflecting the gold in your rain-matted hair. Leave the cottage behind, come across to the lawn, see the house that I built from the dusk to the dawn. The
marble is cold, but the welcome is burning. Every room is a page, every hallway is turning to a temple I built for the girl in the white, to the woman who haunts every Saturday night. See the silk and the shantung, the linen and gold, the stories of kingdoms that wait to be told. I'm throwing the shirts like they're sacraments dear, the coral, the green and the lavender clear. They fall like the petals of flowers in bloom to fill up the silence of every vacant room. And you put your head in the pile of the weave and you cry for the beauty you finally believe. Such beautiful shirts, you sob through the thread, while I count every second we spent being dead.
The dreams of a giant are hard things to keep. I look at you now with your hand in my hand, a girl made of flesh, not of spirit and sand. And I see the shadow that falls on the floor, the reality knocking at the west egg door. Oh, the colossal vitality of the dream I've designed exceeds every truth that a person could find. You've fallen short, not for lack of your grace, but because I've spent years building stars in your place. The green light is fading, it's just a light now, and the weight of the crown is beginning to bow. There's a ghost in the corner, a man I once was, who loved you for reasons and not just because. But now you are tangible, breathing and real, and the hollow inside is a thing I can feel. The nouveau-riche glitter is starting to stain as the old money thunder predicts a new reign.
The thermometer is a liar. It says
says 98, but the air is on fire in the back of the car. The silk starts to weep, a promise of summer we're failing to keep. The tracks hum a dirge through the wasteland of ash, while the city ahead waits to burn and to crash. At the zenith, at the height, everything bleeds in the white-hot light. In a room at the plaza, the curtains are drawn, but the shadows are gone. Yes, the shadows are gone. It's the hottest day, the cruelest sun. The melting of masks has already begun. Tick-tick goes the fan on the ceiling. Strip away the layers, strip away the feeling. The perfume is rancid, the collars are tied. We're suffocating here in the middle of the light.
Man, Tom spits the word like a joke he's finally properly heard. He circles the table with a predator's grace, looking for the cracks in that tan, handsome face. I've made a little investigation, he sneers, into the source of the gold and the gears. Tear down the curtain, rip off the veil. The old money lion is chasing your tail. You're a Mr. Nobody from nowhere at all, with a bootlegger's mask and a socialite's crawl. The barrier's iron, the barrier's stone. You're standing in a suit you will never quite own. Drugstores and side streets, the commonest trade. Wolf shines shadow in the fortune you've made. Gatsby is standing, his knuckles are white. She never loved you, he screams at the night. But the Oxford man fumbles, the Oxford man trips, as the name of a striver escapes from his lips. The yellow car is a bolt through the gray, tearing the skin of the dying day. Past the ash heaps where the lost souls reside, with the secret passenger huddled inside. The engine is screaming a mechanical howl, while the spirit of industry wears a dark scowl. In the valley of refuse where nothing can grow, under the eyes that see all that we know, Dr. Eckelberg stares through his blue rimmed glass, watching the carnage, watching us pass. A flash of a fender, a scream in the wheat, the sound of a life hitting hard on the street. Don't stop the car, don't look behind. The eyes in the billboard are making us blind. The laughter in the road, laughter in the gray. The yellow car flickers and thunders away.
A gravel driveway, a house made of glass. Gatsby is hiding in the shadows and grass. A luminous vigil, a soldier on guard, watching the window from the dark of the yard. I'll wait for her signal, I'll wait for her call, while the leaves of the summer begin their first fall. from his heart in the rain. He thinks he is protecting a holy design, but he's just a ghost at the end of the line, watching the yellow light flicker and glow on a secret he's never intended to know. Tom and Daisy, hand over hand, building a wall out of money and sand, reconciled in the grease and the bone, leaving the dreamer outside and alone. The North Dakota dust was never enough for a boy with a mind like a diamond in the rough. He watched the moon over Lake Superior swell and bid the son of a shiftless farmer a long farewell. He shed the name like a skin that didn't fit and set the match to the wick until the world was lit. He sprang from his platonic conception of himself, a god king pulled from a dusty pauper shelf. No father, no mother, just a light in his head, building a palace on the things he never said. J. Gatsby rose while James Gatz stayed behind, a ghost in the gears of a desperate mind. The leaves are falling, the air is getting cold. The stories of the summer are all bought and sold. He rests on the air mattress, adrift in the blue, waiting for a ring, waiting for a word from you. The telephone is silent in the hallway's gloom, while the shadows of the valley begin to fill the room. On the swimming pool shore, the vigil is thin, the water is heavy with the weight of the sin. He's looking at the sky through a different lens, where the heat finally breaks and the dreaming ends, waiting for a call that's never going to come, while the world beats on like a muffled drum.
The gates are locked and the butler is gone. The Gravel is silent on the empty lawn. I called the names from the Rolodex files, but the city grew quiet for miles and miles. The moths have flown to a brighter flame. They can't quite remember the spelling of his name. It's a vanishing act, a sleight of the hand. The circus has folded and left the sand. The Buchanans are packing their silver and pride, with nowhere to run and nothing to hide. They're careless people, they smash things up, then retreat to the dregs of a gold-plated car.
I sit on the shore where the sand meets the dark, tracing the ghost of a faint emerald spark. The mansion is hollow, a white elephant's tomb, while the flowers of the valley continue to bloom. I think of the sailors who first saw this land, with the fresh green breast of a world in their hand. So we beat on boats against the current, borne back despite every deterrent, drawn to a future we can't even see, chasing the ghost of who we used to be. It eluded us then, but that's no surprise. Tomorrow we'll run faster, with hope in our eyes. Stretch out your arms, the distance is wide. The water is rising, there's nowhere to hide. The green light finally flickers and goes dark, ceaselessly backwards into the past.